So the big story inside the Conservative leadership race right now is the potential deep state ousting of Derek Sloan. Now, later it will shift to the deep state ousting of Jim Kalahari, so the hands of Aaron O'Toole. But for now, we're talking about Sloan being potentially kicked out of the Conservative Party for criticizing Dr. Theresa Tam. And this video is actually about Leslyn Lewis. This is crunch time for Leslyn Lewis's campaign. This is her make or break moment. Let me explain. Now, full spoilers here. This isn't actually my, opinions of the heart. This is more political theory here. So it's not like I'm saying I want this or this or this. This is what I'm saying should happen if I was Leslyn Lewis's campaign manager. Now, Leslyn Lewis needs to back Derek Sloan. She needs to back him right now. And the reason I say this is for the same reason I said about Andrew Scheer needed to back Maxime Bernier's ability to get into the debate. And people freaked out saying, why are you saying this? No, this is just political theory here. So to relitigate, Derek Sloan's in trouble because he criticized Dr. Theresa Tam's 100% failure rate at distinguishing between obvious Chinese propaganda coming from the WHO and the real world. Okay, and masks don't work, now they work. We shouldn't restrict travel from hotspot zones when the hotspot was China. We should always bring in people from China, even though they're a disease hotspot. I don't know how she thought that was a good idea. There's no human-to-human transmission of the coronavirus in the mid-January, obvious lie. And now there's a current obvious propagandistic lie that they still believe to be true, and that is that over a month and a half ago, China said it stopped its coronavirus case. It's still around 83,000. No new cases in China in the last month and a half. They've cured the coronavirus, guys. And Tam, Heiju, Trudeau still support this, believe this. Okay, so Derek Sloan is potentially facing ousting because he said, does Tam, he made the case for fighting Dr. Theresa Tam, a very strong case, and brought up all the information, asked, is she working for Canada or China in the WHO? Because she was puppeting WHO China propaganda. Now, so were Trudeau and Hadju, and they deserve to be fired for the same reasons, but Tam, as a chief doctor, I think has a bigger responsibility to be able to distinguish reality from obvious propaganda, which he is failing to do and has failed to do on every single case beforehand. Lewis needs to back Sloan right now because if Derek Sloan is kicked out, I guarantee you about 8 to 10% of the Conservative Party will just say apathetically, the Conservative Party is not for me. They'll go to the PPC. They'll check out. They need someone to latch on to. If Leslyn Lewis comes out and says, this is ridiculous, this attack on Sloan, right? We need to, we shouldn't kick him out. One, what she says will have no bearing on the actual decision. But if she goes and backs Sloan, then she benefits in both cases. One, if Derek Sloan's kicked out, at least half of those people who say, oh, there's no one for me to vote for, they'll remember, oh, Lewis backs Sloan, she's not deep state. They'll go to her, right? And she'll need those people. Okay, she'll need a lot more people to come to her if Sloan gets out. And if Sloan doesn't get out, then at least she can undercut his market because Sloan will then be the one sort of, right now Sloan's occupying the vacuum of sort of the anti-establishment movement, and Lewis has some of that, but Lewis hasn't taken any strong stances. Now, Lewis has been very good at being open about being her conservative values. I like her. I'm not hiding the ball. This is actually what I think. This is actually what I feel. The CBC isn't attacking her because she's a black woman. So when she says, listen, I don't like abortions, they can't say that's racist and sexist of you because it's hard to do that on her, but she needs to sort of show the backbone. She's got the compassion and the honesty down, and that's good. But there's another part to this where she has to kind of show backbone to win the Conservative Party leadership race. And by backing Sloan here, she can sort of undercut sort of, Sloan's position in that vacuum right now of sort of the anti-establishment movement. She can get more of those people. So either way, she benefits here. The problem is all her campaign advisors, I know them. I don't know them, but I know they're Conservative Party people. And the problem with people in the Conservative Party, I keep saying this, is you cannot convince people in the Conservative Party that it's the year 2020. Everyone high up in the Conservative Party is dead set convinced that is the year 2006. There is nothing that can change their mind. If you try and convince them it's the modern world, social media, Donald Trump, there's new rules to politics, this is the worst type of blasphemy you can commit. It is worse than drawing the picture of the Prophet Muhammad on top of if you carve the Prophet Muhammad into the rock at Mecca, that is nowhere near as bad as blaspheming to the Conservative Party, saying it's the year 2020, not the year 2006 right now. It is the worst thing you can do to these people. And the reason I say this is she needs to undercut sort of the base here as a political stratagem. And it's the same reason I said Scheer needed to back Maxime Bernier's ability to be in the debate. Because if Andrew Scheer, and he didn't listen, if Andrew Scheer had said, you know what, I disagree with Max, but I believe he should be in these debates too because freedom of speech is a value, then he would have undercut a lot of Max's base. Because a lot of Max's sort of political stratagem was, I'm for free speech. I'm not the real conservative. I stand these conservative values. The conservatives are liberal light. Right? And if Scheer had come out and disproven his argument, saying, no, I'm for free speech, I want you in the debate, he would have totally undercut Maxime Bernier's argument. But instead, by not backing Maxime Bernier, he made Maxime Bernier's argument even stronger, because he didn't understand the modern world, because Andrew Scheer was dead set convinced that it was the year 2006. Now, if you look at the debate, I was totally right about that debate as well, and how Maxime Bernier did great in the first half following my advice, how he failed in the second half by not following my advice. So, again, this isn't me knocking Lewis. This isn't me knocking Sloan. I am knocking O'Toole and McKay. I'm always knocking them. Just consider me perpetually knocking them. This is more political theory. This, if I had to reiterate, if Leslyn Lewis campaign is listening, this is your make or break time. It is not the year 2006. Please, for the love of God, believe me, it's the year 2020. Social media applies. You need to show backbone and back Derek Sloan right now. Go after the establishment of the Conservative Party, saying the vote to oust him is ridiculous. Say this is free speech. Say you're allowed to criticize government officials. You can even throw a caveat that, yeah, maybe that wasn't the wording I would use, but this is ridiculous anyway. If you go after the establishment, you will gain so much more support. Right now, Derek Sloan's making a name for himself for fighting the establishment, and Leslyn Lewis is twiddling her thumbs on the sideline, realizing, why am I getting attention? You're never going to get attention from the media. Okay? They can't call you racist because you're a black woman. They can't call you sexist because you're a black woman. So they're just going to ignore you. You need to do something that cannot be ignored. You need to do it now, or else you have no shot at winning this, right? It's 5 more days to sign up members. I would encourage anyone to sign up for the Conservative Party membership. This is where my own heart is. Vote for either Lewis or Sloan. Rank them 1, rank them 2. Don't vote for O'Toole and McKay. They're worse than red Tories. They're corrupt. They're in bed with people you should not be in bed with as a conservative. So please, just listen. Please listen. Derek Sloan listened to my advice, and Derek Sloan showed a video of me saying, do this, and his numbers are skyrocketing. He's going up in the polls because he's standing his ground. Leslyn, please, listen. If you want to win, listen. Stand firmly with Derek Sloan against the establishment here. You'll undercut half of Sloan's momentum, and you'll give yourself an insurance policy in case he goes out. They'll come to you. I guarantee you, this will be the smartest political move of your career. If you back Derek Sloan and go against the conservative establishment, it's your only hope. Listen to me or face the consequences.